we're sitting here with the camera on a little lazy Susan.
The camera will move.
Yeah, we're gonna be showing different things. And while Eric's showing his, I'll reach over here and move the camera on him, and then we can move it back and forth. But it's kind of neat, kind of fun. But it's first time we've ever done anything like this. So if we screw it up, what the hell?
Yeah. So we've got, looks like we've got...
I love this tech stuff.
We got some people coming in. Yeah, see that? So the chat is on. See, I wasn't sure I could do the chat thing, but it looks like the chat is coming on. So we've got some people coming in. Bill Ross, although I can't really read it.
I can't either.
Yeah.
I can see it.
It's kind of off to the side.
But it's kind of a small screen, so
I'd have to kind of put it because this little thing is in the way, but that's all right. We'll work this out. So thanks for joining us, guys. Looks like we got a few people coming in. So as Dad said, Vicki is not here. She had to go to California. Her mom's having some health issues. I don't think it's anything really serious, but it was serious enough that Vicki wanted to get on a plane and go.
The latest news is that it's not as bad as it indicated to begin with. So
yeah,
it looks like she's going to be okay.
Yeah,
but it's going to take Vicki's going to be over there for a day or two or three.
Yeah,
just to just to support her mama.
Hey guys. There's Barry Smith, and let's see, gosh, Jim Dool and David. Man, I hope I'm gonna be able to do this, guys.
Well, it's not going to be anywhere near as professional as when Vicki was behind the camera.
Wow, look at that,
taking care of things. And we're not. I don't think we're going to have a giveaway this week, are we?
No, we're not doing a giveaway tonight. That's it. Just we've got so much. We actually got a ton of stuff to go over. A couple demo things.
I want to show you a new thing that I kind of discovered that I really like, that I use, and I'll show you what it is and how I use it. And in case you want to, use it too. But the main thing is I just discovered it, and I just want to show you what it is in case it'll help you.
Okay, so first things first, I didn't even tell you this. Today is Ryan and Amy, my son, his grandson, and Amy. It's their 16th wedding anniversary.
Well, today. I didn't know that.
Yep, they're out. They're probably not watching this. They're out to dinner, and Vicki is actually with Gwenny. There's Gwen right there. Yes. Hi, Gwen.
Well, that means Vicki's watching.
Vicki and Gwen are watching. She said that they would kind of tune in.
Okay.
So if this all goes bad, Vicki is watching this right now. If it all goes bad, it's her fault because she's gone.
And if it goes great, then we'll probably do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that was the first thing. Second thing is I was talking to somebody the other day. So this is a little, not a demo, but your wife is on. Hey, Keith, how are you doing, guys? And David. Anyway, I want to read the comments, and I lose track. So I talked to a guy the other day, and he wanted to know shapes. Now, you guys know we talk about this all the time. You can't use the template guides in our base. This is our custom base. You can't use the template guides. So, but you can cut shapes with this, with the template guides. But here's what you have to do. The original base that comes with the 611 looks like this. This is what it looks like. It's got the straight edge on the front of it. But you'll notice it does not have a step to accept the template guide. And I don't have a template guide here, but you guys know what that is. It basically sits in there, and then the router bit goes down through it. But in order for it to fit in there, it has to have a step. The original base that comes with the 611 does not have that. It won't accept that. But here's a fix. The Porter Cable 450 is literally identical to this. This is yellow. The 450 is black. Black and red.
This is Porter Cable, where this is DeWalt.
Right, and it's a Porter Cable, but it's exactly the same hole pattern. Everything is pretty much identical. The only thing that the 450 doesn't have is it doesn't have the little LED lights, even though there's a place for them. So you guys, in fact, if you've got one of our base plates, you'll notice on there it says, so they're almost identical routers. But here is the base plate for the 450. This is the Porter Cable 450 base plate. It does have this step in it. You can see right there, it's got the step in it that will receive the template guides. So if you want to use your 611, if you have a 450, you know that. If you have a Porter Cable 450, but there's not as many people that have the 450 that have the 611. So if you have a DeWalt 611 and you do want to use guide bushings for it, just go online and order a base plate for a Porter Cable 450. And then this will mount right on there. And then, you know, if you've got our base plate, you use this for carving signs. If you're going to cut shapes with it.
Do we have this on a website?
We do not.
Do we have a link? Do we have a link to an Amazon?
I don't even know. No, I don't think we do. But that's a really good point.
I'll look that up, and
we'll try
within a few days. I'll have a link on our website to where you can buy this 450, the Porter Cable 450 base that'll fit on the DeWalt. Now, having said all of that, we still don't recommend that you use these palm routers for cutting shapes. If you're using real light wood or making real light cuts, then it'll do it.
Yeah.
But it's just not intended for making real heavy cuts. That's probably why DeWalt doesn't make the base that they make with that step in it for the template guides.
Yeah.
It's just not a heavy enough router to make heavy cuts.
But if you make it in several passes, you can do it.
That's
true.
I mean,
it's a great router.
If you're going to cut a 3/4 inch material and you make it in 3 or 4 passes,
it'll do it.
4 inches at a time, it'll do it.
It'll do it.
We don't recommend making heavy cuts. It's just not enough power in that router.
So what Dad is talking about as far as a link on our website, it'll be in our Amazon store. That's what he means by having, it won't be a link on Make a Wood Sign. It'll be in our Amazon store. So we'll have Vicki find this on Amazon and then put a link.
Yeah, I'll find it on Amazon and tell Vicki that she'll put a link to that in our Amazon store.
In our Amazon store. So, anyway.
So if you want to use it for that, you'll be able to get it.
So this is the original on the 611, which you guys that have a 611, you know that. And this is a Porter Cable 450. They mount up exactly the same if you want to use that. So anyway, that's what that's what I was telling my guy the other day, and I don't know that I've ever mentioned that on camera before. So I wanted to get that done. So that is that. So now Dad is actually going to do his thing. I'm going to turn the kind of rotate this.
Yeah, I can see my flash water and my refrigerator behind me.
Oh, Vicki loves that. Yeah, yeah, she loves it when we're showing stuff like that.
What we're going to do, this is, I'm going to show you this. This is a clamp, and these are the pliers that come when you buy these clamps. You can buy a set of a dozen of them. And what it is the pliers open that up. Okay, you can see it.
Yeah, see the camera's right here, Dad. So yeah.
See how that opens up.
And then these are pointed.
And these are points. And be careful, don't get your finger in there, because that will go right through your finger. So I want to show you I'll show you two things that you can do with this. Number one, it's just made especially for putting together frames. So if you have say for instance, you're making a picture frame, okay? Now this is, because of the way the cameras and everything is working here, it's not going to work real good. But I'll show you anyway. So this is the way the pliers work. And of course, normally everything would be sitting down on a bench. But we're going to give you an idea of what's going on. Now, let's see the best way to do this. is I'll do it this way. Now that's not good because you can't see what I'm doing. I'll get there. Just hang in there with me.
I am seeing some comments, Gwen. I am seeing some comments, but I'm having to...
Okay, now what I did is I just put that together. And now all it is just a clamp that holds it together till your glue dries. And it really is really slick. Now, it does leave a little bit of a hole. It'll leave a tiny, tiny hole in the wood where the points go in. But you can just sand it off, put a little filler in there and cover that up. It's just almost nothing there. But it does leave a little tiny, like a little nick in there. So that's like a picture frame. And does a really great job. Even on wide ones like this, on narrow ones, it's even better. So now, and just one more thing I want to show you.
I can see you, Vicki, but I was confused because you're commenting as Dad. So that was kind of throwing me off there. But I see you've got the little crown. See, that's Vicki from over there. See the little crown?
Oh, yeah.
So that's Vicki because
that's the queen, huh?
Because we've got, because she's on the channel.
Okay, here's another one. This is,
so Vicki, you can answer some comments in there if I miss them.
I'll take another clamp. And these pliers just open that up. I'm going to lay it down there for a second. Now, on something like this, on the 2x4, you can actually put two of them. I'm only going to put one. But it's wide enough that if you put one there, see the way that is? Then you could put another one there. But this just shows you how it just holds those together.
That's pretty cool.
It really is slick. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you. When I'm making boxes with my laser, and I put the boxes together, and I set up and glue them. This box is like a box that I make with my laser, and it's already made. But I'm going to show you when I first take the parts off the laser. I have a little jig that I set these in, but this just shows how I can use one of these on each corner. And I lay these down, I put the glue on, and then I put them together. Then I put this clamp on, and it just holds them till the glue dries. And it just
pretty dang cool.
It really is slick. So it's just
these are as Vicki, as you saw, anybody that's watching the comments, this is in our Amazon store. If you want one of these, and how many of the little clamps come in the set?
You get 13 with the initial with the pliers. If you buy a set, you get 13 clamps and a pair of pliers. And then if you want additional clamps, you can buy them a dozen at a time.
All right, so let's see if we can make this work. Now I've kind of moved the thing out of the Lazy Susan a little bit so I can kind of see some of the comments here.
Oh, okay.
David.
That's kind of slick.
Yeah.
We're learning this. We're learning as we're doing this.
See, that's the comments.
I love this. I love this tech stuff. I'm glad I was able to live long enough to see all this stuff.
Okay, so let's see.
By the way, I'm in pretty good shape. I'm walking again. I'm doing my walk around the property, and my knees are feeling much better because, I had knee replacements, and my heart is still, I have congestive heart failure, and I have AFib, what they call AFib, arterial fibrillation, but atrial fibrillation, but for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be around for a few more weeks anyway. A few more Friday nights with the Rhotens.
All right, good job, Dad. That's really a neat thing.
That's pretty.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's really neat.
Next week, I'm going to show you how I put a box together. That's what I'm going to do. I'd show you this week, but we can't point the camera down at the table like if Vicki was behind it. So.
We're somewhat limited in what we can do.
I'll show you that next week. Maybe I'll even give one of them boxes away. I don't know.
Okay. So, Carl. Hey, Carl. Hope you guys are doing well down there. Hey, Bo. Hey, Luther. Great to see you guys. All right. So, if you guys, I don't know if you guys are on Instagram of this. This is the monthly template for April. So, you premium members will be getting there. Hey, John. You guys will be getting one of these. This is the monthly
that's
template.
slick. I like that.
Yeah. It's really a neat little... So, I carved it, and I carved it both inset and outset. So, you guys can see what it looks like. And it's really fun to carve. I don't know exactly which one I like better. I like the outset if I'm going to color that those palm leaves green, which I didn't do. But hey, Helen, I like it for that. But
you're going to carve them green, or you're going to paint them green?
No, I would paint them. Would I say carve them green?
Yeah, you said carve them green.
I'm trying to read comments and hold this up and all at the same time. Anyway. So that's what they look like. Let me see. Gosh, dang, I don't want to miss any comments here. So we are going to. Luther says the word of the day is slick. So, that's one of our words. Yes. So that is the template of the month. So it's on the website. I think. Ask the Queen. Vic, is this on the website yet? I don't know if it is. Is it, Rach? Oh, it is on the Rachel's in the other room working up orders.
Rachel here?
Yeah, Rachel's in there working up orders. She's listening from afar. Anyway, so that's the template of the month. Yeah, Vicki said it is. So she confirmed that. All right, so that's that. Now, I want you guys to learn from a mistake that I made years ago and my son made just recently. He made a sign doing some collaborations for other YouTubers / Instagrammers. Your mom says thanks for all the help, Rach. She loves you, babe. So what happened was, and if you guys follow Ryan, Old Tradition Signs, if you follow him, you'll see this either on Facebook or on YouTube. But he sent a sign to this big YouTuber that is in the hunting genre. And his name is Mullet Man, and he does hunting and fishing and all kinds of stuff. So
Ryan, he's got a channel on YouTube.
Yeah, a pretty good sized channel. Yeah, bigger than ours. And so Ryan made him a sign, and it got there like that in 2 pieces, and it wasn't supposed to. So this is I think it's about, Ryan, if you're there, I think it's, no, he's out to dinner with Amy. But I think this was about 2 foot square, something like that. Ryan said that, the glue failed, what did I do wrong? He called me and said, what did I do wrong? So we kind of went through the process. What happened was he shipped this, he wrapped it in, I think he wrapped it in bubble wrap, and then he covered it with corrugated, like 2 wraps of corrugated. And unfortunately, that's just not going to do it. That's not good enough. You have to, if you're shipping something like this, you have to skin it front and back. Actually, I learned this from him. He's the one that kind of told me to do that because the first one that I ever shipped like that, it busted. I think
now you can just get some kind of masonite.
That's what I use, masonite.
Masonite or panel board. You can go down to Lowe's and get that real cheap panel board, and that'll do the job. But masonite is, for a 4x8 sheet of masonite, you pay like $7 or $8.
Yeah.
And then you skin that, cut it to the size of the sign, front and back, and you won't have that break.
So go watch Coffee and Questions 3/16/16, and I actually package a big sign. I think right here on the table.
Is that the date? 3/16/16?
Well, that's the if they look at Coffee and Questions 3/16/16. That's in the title. If you type that in, you'll find that video, and I show you exactly how I do that.
Almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A little over.
Crazy. Not only do I skin it front and back, but I also basically trim the whole thing in 2-inch styrofoam. So I get that styrofoam bead board that's like insulation. I rip it into 2-inch strips, and then I completely surround the sign and then sandwich it front and back with that masonite, and then I cover it with corrugated. But go watch that video and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, Ryan learned a lesson. The guy was super cool about it. He actually opened it right on camera, and he felt kind of bad that it was busted, but the guy, he's kind of a handy guy, and he's just going to glue it back together, and gave Ryan a really great shout out. So, but Ryan did a great job on this sign. My son is really turning into a first-class sign carver. And anyway, so Ryan got some pretty good feedback on that, and he's got a couple more set up. But anyway, guys, learn the lesson easy way. I learned it the hard way, and Ryan learned it the hard way. But anytime you've got something like that, and the glue didn't fail, it was just a fact. And if you think about it, this is the way Dad described it to me. So let's say this is your sign, okay, and you're just wrapped in corrugated. Well, if this is sitting in a truck on a bunch of boxes, and it's sitting on a box like that, and then they set another box here, that's where that thing is just going to break. So it's just a matter of, if it was skin, you wouldn't have that problem. So anyway, that's probably a bad illustration, but anyway, so hey Marty from Minnesota, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you. Glad you're doing well up there. Okay, what else? That was that. Oh, I get a lot of, I'm going to do, Monday's video is going to be a large SCOTD, more sign carvers of the day. Thank you, Frank. Yes, hit the like and share button. Thanks, everybody. We got 91 people in here right now.
Great.
Awesome.
You're going to mention monetization on our videos? We haven't mentioned that for a while.
We could. That's not on my list.
Yeah, we're going to have. Well, most of you know, when you get on, watch our videos, sometimes our videos on YouTube, when you watch them, an ad will pop up. And if you don't want to watch the ad within 10 or 15 seconds, you can click on skip ad. Well, that's good. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But if you want to take a minute or so and watch that ad, because it's monetized for us, then they send us a few cents. Whoever pays for that ad, YouTube sends us a few cents of that payment. So if you think that the content you get from us is worth it, and you want to watch that ad, we'd appreciate it. That's how I'm not asking you to do it, but if you feel like, because our videos are free, so if you feel like it's worth it, a minute or two of your time to watch the ad, then we get a few cents for it. So
he's an old man. Help him out. You know, he's begging now.
I don't need the money. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
So I want to answer a question. Tucker Don's workshop, was that 2 pieces he glued together? I think Tucker Don, I think that was actually 4 pieces. I think it was 2x6s that were put together, 2x4s and 2x6s. Normally when I make a board like that, I don't want to use anything wider than 5 inches. So I'll use 2x4s and 2x6s. So anyway, so I want to answer questions as we go through here. Vic, if I miss questions, let me know. Okay, David says, I didn't know that you got paid for us to watch ads. Yeah, actually it is.
We don't mention that very often, but yeah, you know, it gives us a few bucks. I don't know what the heck it is, but you know, it's enough to buy a cup of coffee now and then.
Hey, Joanne, how are you? Joanne Willis is with us. I love Joanne's stuff. I talk to her, see her stuff on Instagram all the time. Dave Stover, great to see you. Billy McGee.
Says hello, Dave and Eric and Vicki from Dave and Eric in Ohio. Wow.
Eric and Eric, are you guys going to be at Artesian Summit? I'm not even familiar with what Artesian Summit. Yeah, Dave Stover, he and I think Dave Stover. It's Dave and Eric, father and son.
Oh,
yeah,
no kidding.
Yeah, they've been watching us for a long time.
I went down south, and those guys are awesome with wood.
Yeah, the guys down south. So anyway, why not put dowels to strengthen the joint? You could put dowels. You absolutely could put dowels or biscuits or like the Festool dominoes. You could do that, and that would strengthen it up. But to be honest, the way they make Type Bond glue now, or the Gorilla Glue, the glues that they make right now are really much stronger than the wood. So you could put dowels, and if he had dowels in it, that might have prevented it. I don't think it would have, but it might have. So you could put dowels, but I don't. I never use dowels anymore. Back in the old days, we did.
And I just have one of the biscuit cutters where you cut a slot and you put a biscuit in there. And either one of those might have prevented that breakage, but still, even with biscuits and dowels, you still need to skin that front and back when you package it. If you don't, you're just taking a chance on it getting broken. Or if you skin it, even with dowels and biscuits, you still need to skin it when you package it.
So, Billy, you're saying that Stone Coat Epoxy, Vicki, you ought to see this. Stone Coat Epoxy countertops, Artesian Summit is going to be in Vegas, April 2nd through the 5th. That's the first time I've heard about it, Billy. I'm going to have to check that out because I think Vicki would love to be there for that. Did you see that, Vic? I'm considering going to one of the.
Yeah, we're only an hour away from Vegas.
Yeah, they're going to be in Vegas, Vic, on according to Billy, on April 2nd through the 4th or through the 5th.
That's Stone Coat. That's that epoxy company.
Yeah,
Make countertops.
They do great stuff. Yeah. They got great videos. All right, so that's that. Okay, so I get a lot of questions. Where are the sign carvers of the Dave pictures after I get done with them? Where do I post them? They're on our Facebook page, Dave Signs Facebook page. So if you go to Dave Signs Facebook page, look in the photos and in the albums, I bet there's a couple thousand. A couple thousand. So you told me about those classes? You did not. You didn't tell me about those classes. I didn't know. Anyway, you're brave when you're 600 miles away. Anyway.
My DWP quit this week. What's that?
That's Bo Trower. My DWP 611 quit this week. I suspect the brushes, because the lights come on, probably is the brushes.
Oh, yeah. That's a brush, and it's easy to change the brushes.
Yeah, Dad made a video on it, and it was comical. Go watch it. It'll make you laugh. It was comical.
Changing the brushes in a router. Some routers are pretty complex. You have to be real careful, but
hey, Dave Olson.
Most of them is pretty easy.
Thank you, Charles. Best show on Friday night. Thank you, Charles. Is the epoxy you use in your Amazon store? It is, Roland. The art resin that we use is actually in our Amazon store. That is correct. How would you deal with signs that warp after carving? You try
the fireplace.
You try to avoid that happening. But here's the thing, Charlie. What I would suggest is, as soon as you get done with carving a sign, as soon as possible, get a finish on it. Get a coat of something on it, and that will help. There's not a lot.
If you need to repair it, then you can get some strips put on the back. Use clamps and straighten it out, and then put screws in it.
Depending on the board, there's a lot of things that come into play. If you put too much stress on it, it could snap open.
That's true, it could. But if it's cupped or warped and you want to repair it, that's the way. Now, you can also go down to Lowe's or Home Depot, and by by the aluminum channel. It's a U channel, and it has more strength than just a board because the board will bend,
Yeah.
and that U channel won't. So if you need to really straighten that out, you can use a piece of that. It doesn't really cost that much.
What? It's $100 to go to that class. Is that what you're saying, Billy? Anyway, Charlie, I hope that kind of answers the question. If it's warped too bad, you know, I've had when I used that cheap pine, the white wood from Lowe's or Home Depot. When I used that, I would have that happen on a regular basis. That's the main reason I went to Select Pine, because it's drier and you don't have that issues with it. So,
and if you really need to, if you need to straighten that out, make yourself a 2x4 frame with a 2x4 down the center.
Yeah.
And screw that thing onto it, and that will pull the warp out.
Yeah.
Put your screws in the center, then work your way out so that you're pulling that warp out. So it's just there's a ways to do it. But if you if you make the sign and the board right, you won't have that problem.
You did tell me, and it cost $600 for the classes in Vegas. Well, that would have caused me to forget it. So you might be right on that. Eric, have you laminated box store 2x4s and then carve them? Yeah, I do that all the time. All of the redwood signs that I make, almost all of them are 2x4s and 2x6s that I get at Lowe's. And I rip them down and get a good edge on them, and then I laminate them together. I've done that many times. Gosh, a lot of times. He owes you, Vic. I'm telling Mom you're being mean to me. She will beat you.
Don't be mean to the Queen.
Okay, all right. Let's see. The one I saw was $600. Yeah, I was
$600 for that
Stone Coat class. I'm gonna have to check into that. That's pretty outrageous.
That's dumb.
Yeah. Hi, Vicki, Eric, and Dave. Lon, hey, Lon, how are you, buddy? All right, so more questions. Keep them coming, guys. We'll try and get to them. Hi from Michigan. I'm usually watching, but I can't respond quickly to health issues. I'm sorry you're having health issues, buddy. What is Select Pint? Is it Select Pine. Select Pine, David. Select Pine.
P-I-N-E, not P-I-N-T.
Yeah, not pint. My sinuses are jacked. So it's
Select Pint is empathy wine.
Yeah. Select Pine. So it's the expensive pine that they've got at Lowe's out here.
Yeah, it's nice grain, nice white, almost no knots. If there's a knot, it's very, very small.
What should I put my boxes to good use for? Do you have creative ideas? Your boxes? Not sure what boxes you're talking about, Sasha. I think that's Sasha. Sasha Bone? I don't know. I can't get redwood. You know, a lot of places you can't get redwood, Luther, but you may have cedar, like cedar decking, whereas the decking that we have out here in Arizona is redwood. This ain't a class, it's a summit. Lots of people gonna be there. Sounds pretty cool. Saw the sign you did for Woodwork Web. Thank you, Trucker Don. I did that one for Colin.
That came out really nice.
Yeah, that one did that one. He was my first collaboration with another woodworker on YouTube. No, let me see here. Blah, 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 blah. What is it? What is this channel about? I'm just here. This channel, Wilson, good question. This channel it basically teaches you how to freehand carve wood signs. We don't get that question very often.
Yeah, we don't.
So,
and we do a lot of stuff that's related to wood.
Yeah.
Like I've got some lasers, and I make a lot of stuff with my lasers that are not really signs, but they're like layout templates for making signs like this.
So
or I make a lot of like wooden boxes like this, jewelry boxes and different boxes for different reasons. And I do a lot of acrylic stuff with my lasers. I make stuff, letters and numbers out of acrylic. So I do a lot of different stuff. But it primarily has to do with signs and woodworking.
Anyway, Wilson,
and anything I can make with my lasers.
Yeah, the channel basically is built around the idea of teaching other people to freehand route signs, which we've been doing for a while now.
50 years.
Yeah.
60 years.
Let's see. Hi, Dave and Eric. Hey, Rudy. How are you? Rudy and Kat. Great to hear from you guys. Let's see.
Sure, you remind me of Bob Hope.
Bob Hope with
Bob
a beard?
Hope with a beard.
Okay, I think that sounds like a compliment. Yeah.
I'll take it as a compliment. I met Bob Hope one time.
Did you?
Yes, I did, on a golf course.
I carved construction stud 2x4s, and they fought me the whole time. I was carving. I will never do that again. Well, now, I didn't say, Douglas fir construction 2x4s. I said redwood decking 2x4s and 2x6s. So that's a huge difference. I'm not crazy about Douglas fir construction 2x4s. I wouldn't make signs out of that. You're welcome, Wilson. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, any of you guys have any questions, but Wilson, since you're brand new, if you have any questions, email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you.
Drop in next Friday night. We're going to try to be here every Friday.
I
may not be here. Who knows if I'm going to be here tomorrow, but Eric and Vicki will usually be here.
You'll be here. Is Select Pine fence board? No, Select Pine is not fence board. It's over there with the hardwoods, at least at my Lowe's. It's over there with the hardwoods and
with the poplar and the oak and the really choice lumber.
Yeah, it's over there with that. The fencing boards is cedar, not redwood, and not pine. At least not where we're at.
You can get the whiteboard, which is in fact pine, or you can get knotty pine, but the Select Pine has very, very few or no knots in it. So
hey, Dave Weber. Hey, random game. He says, not disrespecting y'all, but you look like y'all were rednecks on some high action movie. I take that as a compliment. Thank you, random. I appreciate that.
Right.
Why am I evening here? I don't know why you're here, random. I think that's why you're asking why you're even here. I don't know. We're having a good time.
Everybody's got to be someplace.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Whether you guys are having a good time or not and getting your questions answered. Hey, Alan Moody, how are you, buddy? All the way from the UK. I know Alan well. Good question, random. Oh my gosh. What's your opinion on using oak in a cutting board? I'm looking at making one with oak and maple. I've read oak is too porous, and I've read it's fine to use. So, honestly, I can't tell you. We don't make cutting boards. I can tell you what it's like to carve, and it ain't my favorite. And it's porous, and I don't like it much.
I think if you make a cutting board out of it, if you seal it up with the food safe oil, linseed oil, boiled linseed oil, as long as you seal it up, it should make a pretty good cutting board.
It's pretty, but I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody that makes a lot of cutting boards. I don't see a lot of oak used in cutting boards. Mostly maples and cherries and walnuts and that kind of stuff. All right. So when you rip your 2x4s or 2x6s, do you glue them on their edges or do you glue them to keep the 1.5 inch thickness? No, I glue them on their edges. So if this was my 2x4, now let me get that off of there. If this is my 2x4, I rip it here, get those square edges, and then I put them together like that. That's exactly how I do it. So you got to get that round easy edge off of there. So
so you use a jointer.
Yeah, jointer or a really good table saw. If your table saw is squared up, let's see, white oak. Okay, red oak, avoid. Oh, that's good to know. Bruce would know. Bruce Peter. Thanks for answering, Bruce. Oak, not the best for cutting boards. Maple, cherry, walnut. And those are the 3 I mentioned. I guess I'm learning something. Could you carve with a 3D printer? I don't have a 3D printer, but I suppose you could. I don't see why you couldn't, but... Well, a 3D printer though, no, that builds stuff out of a medium.
You'd have to hook a motor up to it.
Yeah, a 3D printer really is not. It's not made specifically for carving. That's a CNC router. A 3D printer is made more for building.
They do have CNC routers that you can use for printing. I've seen something on YouTube, but I can't give you any information on it.
Roland asked, have you tried using bamboo in a sign? We did try that a little bit. We had a bamboo cutting board that we were playing with, and I did route that, and actually it routed pretty good.
Yeah.
It actually routed pretty good. It's hard.
And there are places that you can buy. In fact, you can go on Amazon and buy pieces of bamboo board that's not cutting boards, but just boards. It's expensive, but you can buy it.
So Random is asking, are you really good friends or are you really good brothers? Father, son, best friends. What can I tell you?
Absolutely best friends. Been best friends for over 50 years.
Yeah. And worked together side by side for...
I made him a partner in the business when he was 18 and he's
16.
16. Well, I went to the attorney, made it legal when you were 18.
Let's see.
And he's been a partner of mine ever since. We built the business, and I just everything I've done for him.
Thank you, Dad. Hey, Eric. It's this is Rudy. I started burning my boards and getting a wire brush to them to get the grain really pops out and looks nice on my signs. A lot of people are doing that, Rudy. It's really super popular. Good for you, man.
It looks great too. If you do it right, it just looks great.
Yeah, good for you, Rudy. I
did that 55 or 60 years ago, and I haven't done it much over the years. But
it was really, if you guys remember, and most of you, well, some of you might, back in the 70s, torched wood in pictures, in furniture, using a torch on construction wood was really, really popular when I was a kid, and now it's back. Thoughts on panel boards at Lowe's? I like the panel boards, Bruce. I just don't trust the laminations without putting a backer on them. So I've carved those panel boards many times, and they've made really good signs. But I just don't trust those laminations, so I would always put a backer on them. Generally, 5/8 or 3/4 inch plywood as a backer.
And I like the panel boards that are heavier, but most of those come in a shape, like they're square or they're round. You can get like 1.5 inch thick round panel boards. Make great signs, and so they do a good job if you want to use those.
You are right, Chris. You're absolutely right. I do. So Shuggy Band is burning wood and finishing. Yeah, and that Show Shuggy Band stuff. is really super popular. I haven't seen it used on signs yet. Somebody's at the front gate. Rach, are you expecting somebody?
Jay's surprised me back there.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're ad-libbing. We can see out our front window at our front gate, and our dogs are going crazy out there. I knew somebody was here. So I got some bamboo cutting boards at Burke's and clothing store. Yeah, the cutting boards, sometimes you can pick those up really cheap, and you can carve them.
I'll be back.
Okay, Dad's taking off. So any luck with it preventing the cracks, Frank? Some cherry I want to mill, but it's okay. He's asking Frank. They're leaving me out. I'm never. Oh,
It's Jay. Oh,
am I supposed to be leaving you out?
I told Dad. Oh.
Oh, Dad, did you not hear? Rachel said that Jay was bringing her. Oh, I thought you could hear her. You don't have your hearing aid in, I guess.
I don't have my hearing aid in.
Now I know. Okay, yeah, that's Jay. Front gate, y'all live in a mansion. Not quite, Random. Not quite.
We do have an electric gate, however.
We have an electric gate that's worth probably about half of what our whole house is worth. Anyway, that's the.
Yeah, I spent about $2,000 putting an electric gate in, so Vicki wouldn't have to get in and out of her car when it rains.
All right, so let's see. No complaints on. Let me see. So, any more questions, guys? What screws would you use to hold the pattern to the wood when cutting shapes? I like drywall screws, honestly, if you can get them the right length. I like the point on drywall screws. They're really, really sharp. That's the ones I like to use, even though we haven't used those in much. We haven't showed them much.
McFeely's is a company that makes the screws that I like, that I use.
Yeah, I don't like them, but that's the ones we've always used because that's the ones.
When I'm making patterns, I use the McFeely screws, usually 5/8 or a 1/2 inch, and number 6 with a square drive. So go to McFeely's. I don't know if do we have them on the website.
No, we can't.
Go to
that.
McFeely's and get the number 6 square drive, 5/8 or 1/2 inch or 3/4, whatever you need. But they have a good point on them, and nearly all the patterns that I make with McFeely screws.
Chris, we actually do have a sign on the gate, but it's not what you think. It's basically a sign that says
trespassers will be eaten.
Yeah, trespassers will be eaten. That's basically the sign we have on the gate.
So we got dogs and hogs.
Tim was asking that. I'm sorry. Chris, having trouble carving with the grain, seems like the bit wants to follow the grain. So that could be a lot of different things. Chris, could be your router bit's getting dull. It could be that you just got a bad board, because I have carved cedar. Even this particular piece of cedar, the grain was hard and it's soft in between, and I really had to kind of concentrate. It's super soft like marshmallow here, but here it's kind of hard. So sometimes when you've got a soft board and you hit that grain, it will want to kind of follow that. So that's why you really need to have your bits fairly sharp. So do you have a set retail price for Live to Ride sign, or is it just random because of the add-ons? The Live to Ride sign, I think I've got that posted at $89.95, and it comes with the small ribbon sign underneath. That's what I charge for it. When I was up in Oatman a few years ago, I was charging $60 for the set because I couldn't, because I was a little hungrier back then, and that's been several years ago. So let's see. It says something about guard pigs enter at your own risk. Yeah. What is your favorite method to transfer stencils to wood? My favorite method really is freezer paper. Printing with an inkjet printer and using freezer paper. And I got tons of videos on that. But, you know, there's all kinds of different ones you can use.
Well, in our laser cut templates, we we just spray that with primer or ink. Don't use paint, but we use marsh ink or primer to transfer that over to the wood.
Well, it says, what's your favorite methods to transfer stencils to wood? So yeah, that's a really good point. So if we're using this, we'd lay it on the board and spray it with black primer or stencil ink. That's the way we'd do that. That is the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, but if that was somebody new and they didn't understand how we do it, makes a difference. But watch our videos.
All right. So Vicki says, even from California, she says we got to shut it down. That we're going over an hour, or we're heading on an hour. You're right, but you're not here. We're in charge now. So, but yeah, you are right. My neck is actually getting a strain in it. Let's see. How much is a set of 2-inch Western letters? Vicki would know that. I think they're 25 for a set. I think they are. Oh, maybe they're 35. I can't remember either.
And a set is all of the letters, an extra A, E, I, O, U, all of the punctuations, and the numbers. That's a set.
I love you too, babe. Okay, guys, I think that's about it. So Monday, we're having another large sign carvers of the day, and then something really special on Wednesday. And then next Friday, we'll be back here. Maybe Vicki will be back. We don't know. We'll just see how that plays out. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Remember, if you guys haven't, if we haven't answered your questions, email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. Let me turn this a little bit. If you guys haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to subscribe and let us know what your thoughts are. Do you like these Friday night things? I don't know if you guys have a good time with them, but we sure do. So anyway, guys, thanks again. Everybody have a great weekend. We love you all. And we will see. I don't even know how to turn this thing off. Vicki's not here. We will see you guys. Oh, there's an X there. We'll see you guys on Monday, Wednesday, and next Friday.